For this 4th of July, we wanted to break away from the traditional celebrations of Independence Day, in which the spirit of that document with its call for rebellion and revolution is most often missing. And so to kick things off, I wanted to read an article published by the late, great Howard Zinn, published on July 4th, 1975. And it was titled, "The Brooklyn Bridge and the Spirit of the 4th." In New York, a small army of policemen, laid off and angry, have been blocking the Brooklyn Bridge. And garbage workers are letting the refuse pile up in the streets. In Boston, some young people on Mission Hill are illegally occupying an abandoned house to protest the demolition of a neighborhood. And elderly people, on the edge of survival, are fighting Boston Edison's attempt to raise the price of electricity. So this looks like a good 4th of July, with that spirit of rebellion proper to the Declaration of Independence. The Declaration, adopted 199 years ago today, says, although those in high office do not like to be reminded of this, that government is not sacred, that it is set up to give people an equal right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and that if it fails to do this, we have the right to alter or abolish it. This Declaration of Independence became an embarrassment to the Founding Fathers almost immediately. Some of George Washington's soldiers resented the rich in New York, Boston, and Philadelphia profiting from the war. And when the Continental Congress in 1781 voted to give half pay to officers for life and nothing for the enlisted men, there was mutiny in the New Jersey and Pennsylvania lines. Washington ordered 2 young soldiers shot as an example. The shovelfuls of earth covering their bodies also smudged the words of the Declaration, words that were just 5 years old and already ignored, that all men are created equal. Enslaved blacks in Boston took those words seriously. And during the Revolution, they petitioned the Massachusetts General Court for their freedom. But as we know, the Revolution was not fought for them. It did not seem to be fought for the poor white farmer either, who, after serving in the war, now faced high taxes and seizure of home and livestock for non-payment. In western Massachusetts, they organized, blocking the doors of courthouses to prevent foreclosures. This was known as Shays Rebellion. And the militia finally routed them, and the Founding Fathers then hurried to Philadelphia to write the Constitution, to set up a government where such rebellions could be carefully controlled. And arguing for the Constitution, James Madison said that it would, quote, hold back a rage for paper money, for an abolition of debts, and for an equal division of property, or any other such wicked or improper project. The Constitution took the stirring phrase of the Declaration, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and changed it to life, liberty, and property. The Declaration had become only a historic document. The Constitution became the law of the land. Both documents were written by whites. Many of those were slaveholders. All were men. So women gathered in 1848 in Seneca Falls, New York, and adopted their own declaration stating, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men and women are created equal." The Constitution was written by the rich, who set up a government to protect their property. Gerald Ford is still doing that today. Oh, they say he is a good guy. He certainly has been good to big business. He arranged for gasoline prices and heating bills to go up while the oil companies made enormous profits. He vetoed a bill to allow interest rates for homeowners of 6%, while the nation's 10 largest banks made $2 billion in profits last year. Unemployment, food, and rent are all rising, but $7 billion in tax breaks went to 160,000 very wealthy people last year. So it's no wonder that the spirit of rebellion is growing. No wonder that even police, paid to be the keepers of law and order and laid off when they have served their purpose, are catching a bit of that spirit. It is fitting for this 4th of July, for this anniversary of the Declaration of Independence.